Hey traders, this is Ron Hayde at Market Tamer. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. As always, nothing in this presentation shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Trading stocks and options involves risk, and specific financial issues shall always be addressed with your financial advisor. We'll kick off here with the Dow. And starting the week, the bulls have just a teeny bit of an edge here, and I'll show you why. If I bring in this little trend line, I can show you what I can do. How about those apples? So we had our big sell-off in October, right into the pre-election. We had a rally, we've come back down. But the bulls on Thursday and Friday held the 200-day institutional moving average in purple. That's a big deal right now. 200-day sits at 253.5. Ballpark, that's where I want to put alerts. We stay above that, it's neutral to bullish. We get below it, big yellow flags, alarm bells go off because the target goes right back down here. We break below that low, things could get ugly. As it stands now, we put a higher high post-election. We now just put a higher low post-election. This is a rising channel. Yes, it still could be considered flagpole bear flag, but you got to be careful here. As here and now, the bulls are winning the price battles with higher highs and higher lows. So walking into this week using the Dow as the proxy, I would say neutral is like the big word, the big overall direction. We're neutral. But the bulls get that day-to-day edge with these higher lows, short-term higher highs, and the fact we're above the 5-day EMA. If I bring in the Qs, looks nothing like the Dow. The 50 days in orange, we couldn't even get close to it, a week and a half ago. We're already testing the previous lows. On the Qs, ballpark 162.50 would be an alert here. That's not a whole lot lower. That's about $5 lower. We break that could be ugly for the NASDAQ. Here is a high, lower high, lower high, low, barely a higher low. See how the two are drastically different between the DIA and the Qs. We take a look at the SPY, which I have a bullish position in. Here, from a week and a half ago, we took out the previous high, barely, but it is a higher high. Low, definitely a higher low. Again, Dow looking the best, maybe S&P second best, and Q's definitely third. We also have the inverted head and shoulders. Left shoulder here, head here. Right shoulder here. We need to take out the 50-day and the 281 area. A breach of 281 on the upside would be bullish for the SPY and the broad market. Take a look at IWM. Small caps. We could not set a higher high, and we have the 200-day and the 50-day crossing up here. Well, I should say just together. I'm not so much concerned about the cross and the death cross and all that stuff. They're both stuck at 160. Higher lows, lower highs. That's actually the formation of a pennant. Look at MDY, still a little bit of an inverted head and shoulders. Left shoulder here, head here, right shoulder here. We need to get above that 348.9 area, but look at the 50 and the 200-day. We clear the neckline here and that 352 area. That's a nice shot from a technical resistance standpoint. And then if I bring in the VIX, it did come down hard on Friday, all things considered. It's a good sign, but it still isn't completely bearish yet, which sort of goes to the overall broad market. So if I go back to the diamonds, overall, walking into this week, how do I see it from a technical perspective? It's neutral, but it certainly isn't bearish on the dailies. The day-to-day chart, we're actually above the 5-day, and I want to keep an eye on the 200-day. We get below the 200-day, that's where the tune changes, and I think the bears start getting an upper hand. So I'll keep watching this nightly videos with you guys as well. Now let's take a look at some other ETFs. Here is XHB, home builders, big bullish engulfing back on October 30th. We rallied into the election, we pulled back, we're now putting in a higher low. Friday was bullish engulfing again. We get back above these previous highs and take out the 50, that's going to be a bullish sign. So I'm going to keep an eye on XHB. Here is, let's try the semis. SMH. Here's a high, lower high, lower high. Here's a low, lower low, higher low. This one's trying to find its way. We would need, or I would need from an educational perspective, a close above the 50-day SMA to signify the semis are running. So the semis are lagging just with the Qs. Again, the diamonds look best. How about the transports? Nice little inverted head and shoulders pattern here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Look how the 200-day in purple right there, the 50-day SMA right there are soon coming together. We clean out all three of these, we break above all of them, targets right back up to the previous highs at 207, and that will be bullish for the market, the broad market. How about XLF, the banks? We got a lot of lines in here. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of this whole box. Let's try it again. You're going to be able to see left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But look at the 50-day, which actually stopped us cold back on November 8th and 9th. Then you have the 200-day. The banks need to get back above all these, but then there's a lot of consolidation up here that would be a target. I'm not so much worried about upside targets in the banks, other than if the banks regain these moving averages, we have left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We'd have a head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders breakout. And the banks going up, again, is good for the broad market. NVDA, massive down move. In fact, it was the biggest losing stock by points. All the way down and closing at 164. I'd have to go back 2 years on a chart of NVIDIA to try to find some support, which we can argue it's starting to get into, but the next major one is all the way down at 100, another 64 bucks lower. Nothing says it's going to get there, but one of the things we would need to see are big volume reversals to the upside, and at the very least, a close above the 20-day EMA in red. And then Apple, again, I get a lot of questions on Apple all the time, which is always cool. I like talking about Apple. Came down hard, broke the 200-day back on Wednesday. It's now trying to rally back above, but Apple is in a state of what I would call prove it to me. Now that you've lost this support level, yes, Buffett increased his stake. We filled the gap. We've broken the 200-day. That's all good. You got to get back above some moving averages. Above the 5-day, target is 20-day. By the 20-day, it starts getting my attention. And as long as some good volume is there, that'll be positive too. So I'll keep a watch on Apple. And I have some really exciting news. This past Friday, I held my second annual pre-Black Friday event. The response was off the charts amazing. Traders were writing in about how much they loved the event, how they could see the hottest stocks. And then I had other folks saying, I got locked out. I couldn't make it. I'm doing a second chance event. It's my only one this Wednesday. It's the day before Thanksgiving. It's going to be noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. I will show you the top 10 proven bullish and bearish stocks for year end and to kick off 2019. Really, really important. It's going to be maxed out at 500 seats. You're going to see something like this. I'll show you the stock, the share price, the percent gain or loss over that period. Some of these stocks go up as much double digits, 20% or up to 30% or more over this period, annualizing out at some amazing potential returns. This is all proven data. It's the stock's own historical track record as our secret weapon. So please be sure to register. This is my last event before Thanksgiving. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday. I promise it'll be worth every minute of your time. In fact, within the first 5 minutes of going live, I will show you these hottest proven stocks. It is stunning information, priceless information to have before you consider your next trade idea. So I hope to see you there. Register at the bottom of the video. I promise it'll be worth your time. Have a wonderful day.